And once again, welcome back to Fiesta Musical, featuring classic salsa and Latin jazz. And on the line, we have Flaco Navaja from the group Our Latin Thing. Flaco, you there?
Hola, buenas noches.
Buenas noches, bienvenido a Fiesta Musical. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure, and we are definitely looking forward to you guys coming down to Baltimore and making the stage jump and making the people move.
Awesome. I love Baltimore. It's a great city.
Great. So tell us about the group. And I know we've been talking about the tribute to the Fania All-Stars, and you guys are all youngsters.
Yeah, we are. It's an awesome 18-piece salsa band composed of pretty much the top-notch young New York salseros of today. 6 lead singers, each stars in their own right in a lot of ways. And, you know, we all share a passion to some real deal salsa, especially that came out of the Fania All-Stars and that era. And we're here to pay tribute and also to just keep that type of music alive and bring it back in a lot of ways, because we've lost our way, in my opinion.
Amen. That's a terrific mission. Fantastic.
So, yeah, and the music is awesome. You know, the musicians. I remember my first rehearsal, I was blown away, and it just was an example of how much more there is to come. Great,
terrific. And so you'll be doing a tribute to the Fania. You kind of recreate the sound, the style.
Definitely, we interpret these songs in our own ways, but maintain their integrity and definitely pay tribute. You know. But I'm not going to stand here and say that we're portraying, you know, I'm not trying to sing like Hector Lavoe or trying to be him in any way. He's just inspired me to be the person that I am.
Fantastic.
And also, you know, me being a young man from the South Bronx that grew up in the generation that I did, I also infused some of my spoken word poetry, hip-hop style to what I do.
Yeah.
So, that is definitely a part of our Latin Thing experience.
All right, fantastic. So, how long have you guys been together as a group?
Very short. Our first show was in January of 2010. We did a show at B.B. King's restaurant in Times Square, and we had close to 800 people there, and it was an amazing experience and definitely an awesome beginning to a
not
great
too
band.
Shabby for a first show. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and that's a huge testament on how many people love that particular music from that era. The Fania All-Stars definitely set off many people's careers and have inspired people of all ages, such as myself. So having 700 people at a show with a group that has never performed before is just an example of not only the passion that we have as musicians and artists, but the passion that the audience has to our music.
Yeah.
And salseros and salsa enthusiasts are some hardcore fans, you know?
Absolutely.
And they also recognize the real deal. So the fact that we weren't booed off the stage says a whole lot. So we don't hold no punches when it comes to our music, I'll tell you that much.
All right. Well, my co-host Gary Elter has a question for you here.
Hey, hi. This is Gary here. How did you find each other? 18 people getting together to put together an incredible orchestra. That must have been a heck of an achievement.
Yeah, that's hardcore. A young man by the name of Arturo Martinez had a wonderful idea of doing a tribute to the salsa, to the Fania All-Stars, and he had access to a lot of young musicians. They work out of an agency called Relentless that books pretty much all the premier Latin artists, such as Víctor Manuel, Gilberto Santa Rosa, and things like that. And he had a vision to assemble this all-star team, you know. And there's, in New York City, there's a huge ocean of talented musicians, all young, all hungry, and all real deal talented, you know.
All right. And
so that's kind of how we were put together.
Now, you personally, you're a lead vocal?
Yeah, I'm one of the singers. I also do some poetry within it as well.
Very good, very good. And how was the training? You guys, are all the guys kind of just like they got their training here and there? Are any of them classically trained and just they pick it up on the streets? How to?
That's a good question. I'm sure many of the musicians, besides the singers, are definitely trained hardcore. I can only speak for myself, and I'm not sure what everybody else's history is. But the on-the-job training that each one of us as singers has received is crazy. The credentials that each singer has and is hard to dispute.
Fantastic. And so you're coming down to Baltimore. That's we are definitely looking forward. Just the atmosphere at Latino Fest is fantastic here in the city of Baltimore. The Latino community has grown immensely, and the festival. This is the 30th anniversary festival. I guess you know that, and so we are definitely looking forward to huge celebration, huge crowds, and to continue that mission that the founder of EBLO, who started Latino Fest on a very humble scale in the Latino section of Baltimore 30 years ago, and we've kept it going, and that's something that we're excited about doing, and excited to incorporate you guys with it as well.
Thank you. We're definitely excited to go to Baltimore. I've been to Baltimore a couple of times in through different projects. I've got the opportunity to perform at the Hippodrome a couple of years back with a show called Deaf Poetry Jam.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a great experience. So I definitely enjoy Baltimore, and I'm sure the rest of my brother and sisters at arms will. And we're definitely going to have a great time.
All right. We're going to take a pause here. We're going to put some Tito Puente on from the original album, Our Latin Thing, going way, way back, and then take the station identification. We'll be back with you if you can hold on for a few seconds.
You got it.
Okay. Well, you're listening to Fiesta Musical. On the line here is Flaco Navaja from New York, part of the group Our Latin Thing that we'll be presenting here in Baltimore in Latino Fest. You're listening to Fiesta Musical.
Public Radio, 88.9 FM, the broadcast service of Morgan State University, WEAA, Baltimore.
And Flaco, you still there? Okay,
Hello.
Yeah, okay, got you now. Had the wrong button.
Okay.
We're going to ask you a question, put you on the spot here, if you don't mind. And you were telling us you do some poetry, and I am a real fan of the New Yorican poetry thing. I have a couple of books, and you got something you can just lay on us right now, off the top of your head?
Sure. August 26, 1971. It was hot in New York City. No shade provided by palm trees in this town. Projects block the sun as the summer burns brighter and louder than a tenement burning on 149th Street. Times is hard on Southern Boulevard, and everywhere you go, you hear the sounds of the city. Kids playing, boom boxes blasting. A mother scolds her son. Yo no te dije que yo no te quiero comiendo en casa ajena. But mommy, who's Hannah? Meanwhile, all over the city, from uptown to downtown, Queens to the boogie down party, people looking for the place to be are getting their finest threads together for tonight's festivities. Where's the party, you may ask? At the Cheetah Club. A storm has been stirring, and on this sultry summer night, a phenomenon was born. It became the soundtrack of our times. It's the sway that gives us our swagger. This is our Latin thing.
Wow. Fantastic.
He brought me right home. I lived on the 49th Street.
All right, man.
Thank you.
That's all right. Yeah. So you mix that in with your music when you do your shows.
Excuse me?
You mix the poetry in with the music when you present.
I do a couple of numbers in which I do some poetry, some rhyming and stuff like that. And I think the connection is so perfect to me, being the young man that I am, where I'm from, and being Puerto Rican and from South Bronx. Just the history, the musical history that the Bronx has had definitely travels from mambo to hip hop, you know?
There you go.
And that's a beautiful